Happy Thursday, everyone. Happy December. Happy Thursday. Welcome to today's empowerment session with me, Natalia Powers, a holistic success lifestyle coach and personal brand strategist. I'm so happy to be discussing today our topic. Very excited because, of course, it is such a good topic. Um, and I say, of course, because I always say that. I hope you think it's good. Just getting set up. And our topic today is success principles that you might not realize right off the bat. Okay. Success practices and principles that you might not realize um, exist. And let's break down a couple definitions. All right, these are not Webster definitions. Hey Tranisha, good afternoon. How are you doing, beautiful sister? Um, so okay, so it is December, all right? It's December. And this month we're going to be talking about success done right, okay? Because formally, well, in October we talked about life. In November we talked about love, and in December we're talking about success done right. Okay. And when I say done right, it does not mean that I know it all. Okay. I want to make that clear. It doesn't mean, so if I'm hosting, these discussions on life, love, and success done right, it does not mean that I know it all and I know how to do it right. Okay. So I always qualify that when I say done right. What I mean by done right is in the context of intimate and consistent relationship with God. Okay. And so happy you're doing good, Tranisha. The comments are so delayed sometimes. So that's why, like, you might be typing something and I don't see it right away. But okay, so that's what I mean by done right. And for the month of December, so we've been doing these empowerment sessions every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time for this year. Okay, it's probably going to change for next year. But these sessions are all in the spirit of us finishing 2022 strong, because I believe that 2023 has so much in store for each and every one of us that believes. Okay. And I believe that because of the evolution of time, because of the evolution of people and science, and the world is unfolding, the world is evolving. Because of that, there is so much in store for us as believers in Jesus Christ. Okay. Hello, Floor. Welcome to our session today. Thank you for joining. So do you guys get what I mean by that? Like, next year, well, every single year that we are blessed with is a new chapter, and it's a new year of opportunity that is going to be of greater opportunity than the year before, because of the evolution of humanity, science, technology, all of those advances. But in a worldly sense of success, okay, in a worldly sense of success, we see these technological breakthroughs, we see these medical breakthroughs, we also see um, scientific breakthroughs. But what that means for the people of God, okay, what that means for the people of God is just another level of success that we can experience because of everything that's happening in the world. And I don't know why I'm going in this direction with this, but um, I believe that as we find our places, as we find our positions in entrepreneurship, in ministry, the whole kingdom ministry, kingdom marketplace, as we find our positions, we are able to really tap into the evolution that the world is experiencing in a phenomenal and unspeakable way. Okay. And so I want to dive into our discussion for today on how to tap into all that's happening in our world in a way to where you can experience success for your personal life, for your own lifestyle, for your relationships, for your ministry, for your businesses. Okay. So we're going to start getting into the success practices, principles, mindsets, all of those types of things for December. Okay. Um, so let's start off right here with the problem. Okay. The problem is that a lot of us have a vision about how we are supposed to achieve success in our lifetime. And we have that vision, but we are um, figuring out how to achieve that vision and how to experience success. Okay. But a lot of times we get caught in a trap of thinking that in order to achieve success, we need to like overly grind, overly hustle. Okay. Um, and we have adopted that way of trying to achieve success and experience our dreams and fulfill our ambitions just because um out of ignorance, like we try to achieve success in those ways just out of ignorance. And the distinction that I want to make is that there is a way to work in our flesh. Okay, there's a way to work in our flesh according to the laws of the flesh, and then there's also a way to work in the spirit. All right. And either, for either approach that we take, we have a vision of a destination that we're heading towards. Okay. Hello, Homer. How you doing? And so, and so I just want to make that distinction, that we want to take our time to really understand our approach to life, to achievement, to success, to making progress and building momentum. There's a lot of work that we need to do as individuals to really assess our approach for how we live our lives and how we are moving towards our dreams of success. Okay. And so we all know that, if you have the more ambition, listen to this, you guys, the more ambition we have as individuals, the more we are at risk for the implications of working the wrong way. O- Okay. And so I consider myself a very ambitious person, okay? And I have observed people that are very ambitious. They want to make an impact. They want to build generational wealth. They want to leave. They want to leave their mark on the world. Okay, and so for people who are exceptionally ambitious, all right? For people who are exceptionally ambitious, we have to be careful how we work because when we work in our flesh to achieve the vision that God has given us, then there are implications, for working too hard and not smart enough. There are spiritual implications, there are mental, emotional implications, there's physical implications, there are relational implications, there's financial implications for working in our flesh, just working in the wrong way. Okay. And so this is the reason why I'm setting up this topic like this. Success principles that you may not realize, and that we all need to take note of, and we all need to be careful of how we engage with our potential, and how we engage with our purpose and how we engage with the building of our legacy. Okay, and so now let's start it off like this. Okay, let's start the discussion off like this. The current experience that we have in our lives right now, here today, okay, the current experience that you have and your level of success that you are experiencing up until this point is all determined on what you thought for yourself. Okay, do y'all get me? Just by that statement alone, can you start to see where I'm headed? All right, let me say it again. Okay, let me say it again. Your current experience in life, okay, it has been determined on what you thought of yourself. Okay, and the amount of success, your relationship with success right now that you are experiencing is determined on what you thought was possible for your life. Okay, and so, whether you are satisfied or not, whether you're satisfied or not with your lifestyle, with your wealth position, with your business and your family, all of that type of stuff. It whether you're satisfied with where you are right now, um it's because of you. Like, it is because of you. Okay. And I know that um some of us can get in the trap of blaming our situations and circumstances and relationships and the way that we were brought up and all of those things. Okay. Like, we could get into a victim trap and say, well, I'm not happy and I'm not experiencing the level of success that I believe I'm capable of because I was raised like this and we, had this much money, or my education was like this, and all of those things. And honestly, some of that is true. Some of that, or a lot of that, is true. But one of the main success principles that I want to bring out to start off with is ownership. Yes, Tranisha. That blame game, oh, it's a trap. It is a trap, okay? Um, because you leave your control in the hands of other people. Okay. Like we don't have ultimate control over what happens in our lives because there are external things happening. But ultimately, we leave a lot of the control that we should be owning in the hands of our past, in the hands of other people. Okay. And circumstances. And so that's one of the main success principles that I want to call out is we are all owners, okay, of a piece of our story. Okay, like what happened to us, you know, tragedies, traumas, you know, things like that that happened to us. But ultimately, in order for us to really start to have success at the level that is possible for us, we have to take ownership. Okay. And there's like, you know, a whole process in learning how to take ownership that could involve, you know, healing, forgiveness, you know, all of those types of things. Okay. But once you start to take ownership, all right. So if you are taking notes, all right, just write that down. The number one success principle that you want to practice is ownership, okay, of your life, all right, and of your destiny, okay. And so once you realize, okay, what happened to me happened, and now I'm going to just take ownership and I am going to steer this boat in the right direction. Then you're going to get into some more success practices that are necessary to own and to change and to shift. Okay. And so with the next thing is really to start to determine like, okay, what do I want? You know, it's really what do I want? And when you start to ask that question, I know that we've covered this in various forms and fashions in previous um, sessions. But when you start to determine what you want and you get a vivid picture of what you want, then and this is the thing, when you decide what you want to do that in the context of relationship with God, to figure out what desires that he give you, okay, what potential that he give you, because your desires, your potential, your gifts, okay, your natural gifts, those all determine what is possible for you, okay, what is possible for you and what's going to be a good fit for you. And so the second thing is to really decide what you want in the context of relationship with God. Okay. And now, what you're essentially doing when you decide what you want is you are creating your vision. You're coming up with the vision for your life. Okay. And so, you know, write that down as number two. What do I want? What do I desire? Okay. In relationship with God. All right. And then realize that when you start to formulate what you want, that is you crafting your God-given vision. All right. This vision, I want to stress, does not come out of the blue sky. Okay. It has to be in a context of relationship with God. And the way that you can really color that vision is, these are the fruits of the spirit that I want to experience. And, these are the types of relationships that I want. This is the business that I want, or this is the career that I want. Like, you start painting all of those things very, very clear. Okay. And man, like, when you start to write that, when you start to craft that vision, another success principle, okay? Another success principle is to actually write it down. Tranisha, I'm gonna put you on the spot, girl. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Have you written your vision? Have you picked up the pen and have you written your vision? All right. Because that's a principle, that's a success practice that is proven scientifically, is proven biblically, okay, to write the vision down in as much detail as possible. Okay. I don't know who else is on the line, but if you hear, let me know if you have written your vision out. Okay. 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 So Tradisha, you're saying yes, but it's not clear. Okay. So some of the ways to consistently get more clarity about your vision, okay, is to really start to Tranisha. The way Okay, so your struggle in this season, explain it to me a little bit more. It's not clear. Do you know what area? Okay, because vision needs to be broken down. All right. So when you are, like, you taking ownership, you no longer a victim of your past, you're no longer a victim of toxic relationships, you're no longer a victim of insecure, like, things internally going on. And you're just like, okay, I'm ready to make a change in my life. I'm ready to create the lifestyle, the legacy of my dreams. You want to start working on your vision, and you have to start breaking down your vision into different areas. Okay. Okay, Tranisha, I hear what you're saying, and I'm gonna speak to that, okay? But I'm a finish this point right here, okay? So you have to break your vision down into different areas, and that's like literally the point of the Shift into Success Sisterhood. Like, that is an amazing start, okay? To really start to break it down in the specific areas. And that's how you get more clarity. You start writing it down, doing the brain dump, of what you want, and what you are really, um, what you break it down by what you want, and you really have to um start processing. Okay, that's the next step. But you want to start processing, like, this is where I am, this is what I want. But Tranisha, let me know if that makes sense. Hey, Tawana, how are you? um so it becomes clearer as you start to capture what's already in your brain, what's already in your heart, by area. Okay. And so the areas that are in the Shift into Success Sisterhood really cover a lot. It covers a lot of you breaking that vision down. Okay. And listen, the reason why because I know, like, some organizations, they come up with a vision, and that vision is just the vision for the whole year. Okay. But for us, as we work our way through the months in a year, we evolve. Okay. And there's potential for us to capture even more. There's potential for us to capture even more about that vision. Okay. And so, with the productivity planner, Tranisha, you got one. Okay. You have one. You can start to capture your thoughts on how you want your spiritual life to look, how you want your relationship with God to look. Okay. How do you want your how do you want to take care of yourself, right? How do you want to eat? How do you want to move? How do you want to feel? Like in the second section of the planner, the second pillar, I'll say, for holistic success, you're literally capturing how you want to take care of yourself, how you want to love yourself. Okay? You said it's right here in front of me, just sitting pretty. Girl. And that's what it's been like, to really start capturing. It has 5 areas for you to start capturing your vision. Okay. And then, you can start to paint your vision clear in terms of your relationships, your finances, and your home life, your career, your ministry, your business, like all of those things you can capture right there in the planner. Okay. And that's one of the principles, you guys. Like, that's one of the success principles that I think that a lot of people don't exercise enough. Okay. Is to really just make time for yourself to start writing out your vision and writing it out and making it very, very clear. Okay. Because when it's clear, we talked about this last time, when your vision is clear, then you have more to work with in the spirit. Okay, you have more to work with in the spirit, because it's like, it's coming from your head. Y'all know how fast our mind can get off track. You know how occupied our minds are. So when you sit down and start to write things out, you're really exercising intention, you're exercising intent, you know and filtering it out of the head space into your heart space, into reality. Okay. And so um and so as you begin to do that, um another success principle, another success practice that you might not realize is necessary, okay, is to, once you have that vision down, is to let all of the feels come up. Okay, to let all of the feels from that vision come up. Okay. And y'all, this is such an important piece. This is such an important piece to address. When you write the vision down, and listen, you don't want a mediocre. You don't want a mediocre vision. You don't want a vision that's just, complacent. You want to challenge yourself. Like, your vision should be inspiring. It should make you stretch out of your comfort zone. It should have you in a position to where you are evolving ambitiously. Okay. Your vision should really be like a challenge to your current reality. Okay. Those are the only types of visions that work to shift you, to build your dreams out. Okay. And so it should scare you. It should intimidate you. It should intimidate your flesh. Okay. It should make you say, "Oh, I can't do that by myself. I need God. I need community. I need a coach. I need a therapist. I need spiritual advisors." Like, it should inspire you to build your team. Okay. And so, your vision, when you write it down, it should really stretch you. And this is what I'm saying. All right. So when you have that great vision before you, one of the practices is to really sit with that vision and let those feelings come up. Fear, guilt, insecurity, imposter syndrome, unbelief, doubts, worries, like all of that stuff should come up. And I'm getting a vision right here now. Okay? If your vision is big enough, if it's a God-sized vision, okay? And then it is going to be big enough to bring those things to the surface. All right? It should be big enough to bring all that mess up to the surface. If your vision is too small and it's too simple, and it's just like, oh, I can do that, then you're going to think that you can do it in your flesh, and none of the gunk, okay, none of the mess that is inevitably in you is not going to come up. Okay. And so, okay, Shanisha, so um you hearing me, you feeling me, right? And so you have to force that time, girl. Remember how we were talking about self-love feels so risky? Like, you have to force that time to just sit down and write your vision. And we are kicking off the Sis Planner Squad. Okay. We started this last year, but because I was working full time, and like I didn't have the help that I needed, I had to stop it, unfortunately, but we're picking it back up again. Okay. And in the Sis Planner Squad, that's going to be the community and the space and the time to discipline yourself to work on your vision. Every single day, every single season, continue to work on your vision. Okay. Because that's self love, that is self care, that is a success practice. Okay. And so all that gunk is going to come up because your vision is big enough to drive it up to the surface. Okay. Then the success practice, okay, from this point, as I mentioned, is to start assembling your team to help you. Okay, assembling your resources to help you get past all that gunk. All right. And so, resources that I mentioned before, spiritual advisors, therapists, coaches, communities, books, podcasts. Like, it's so many things out there. Remember what I was saying at the beginning? To tap into scientific breakthroughs, medical breakthroughs, like, technology breakthroughs. It's so much to tap into to help you get through all that gunk. All right. And so this is not about grinding and hustling to achieve your vision over all that mess. Okay. It's not about just going for what you think is success over all of that mess inside of you. Because here's another success principle, okay, that you may not realize. In order to achieve success in a divine way, it requires spiritual healing, emotional healing. Okay. And so, there's like seasons and cycles of this all throughout our lives. I don't care how glorified you think you are. I don't care how spiritual I think I am. I don't care how perfect people think they are, how rich they think they are. It doesn't matter. None of us are glorified. None of us are Jesus. And so throughout our entire lifetime, we're going to go through cycles of vision, stretch, gunk, healing, healing, and then building. All right. Y'all got that? I'm going to write that down. All right. All right. So, vision, number one. Okay. Number two, stretching. Number three, the gunk comes, the mess comes to the surface, you know, and then it's assemble your team, assemble your team. Then it is you know, grow, get the harvest for the season. Get the harvest for the season, heal. I didn't say that, heal, and then build. We're always going to be going through this cycle to experience success, to experience evolution. All right. And so if you just go through this life, not really tapping into the spiritual practices that are necessary. You're just going through this life, experiencing promotion financially, but never dealing with the emotions that comes with that level of success, that level of working with people and stress and all of that. That's not success. That might be worldly success, but that's not godly success. Okay? And so you really want to evolve. Well, really, the definition of evolve has to be a holistic definition. All right. It's not just financially, it's not just emotionally, it's the whole thing. We're supposed to be evolving spiritually, emotionally, relationally, financially, and in terms of how we build our legacy at home and everywhere that we show up. Okay, so it has to be a continual cycle, year after year, month after month, week after week, where we are understanding, like where we have the self-awareness to understand where we are in that cycle. Am I making sense? And really, we what this message right here is helping you to do is to raise your sense of self-awareness and just be able to know, like, I am in a healing season, right? And you know that, like, okay, after this healing season, I'm going to be lighter. I'm going to have the energy, the vision, the resources in place to build effectively. Okay. And those are the self-awareness is another success practice. It's another success principle that just really helps you to just know what you need. And that's you becoming one with yourself, knowing what you need for this season, knowing who you need to talk to for this season, you know? So that you're really slowing down your experience through life to get what you need so that you can progress in a meaningful, significant, and visible way. Okay. And so um there's I hope that this makes sense. I hope that this makes sense to help you to really work in the divine way, work in the way of the spirit. Okay, there's a way to work in the spirit that is going to help you to be able to make more impact, experience more change, more joy, more peace, more self-control. There's a way to work in the spirit to really have like a beautiful experience in this life. Okay. And to have a better gauge, like this talk is to help all of us to have a better gauge as to what do I need in this season. Okay. And so it is not God's will for us to work in our flesh. and to just do the most logical thing that we think we need to do in our flesh. All right. When we are embracing our royal nature and we're embracing um, the depth of love, the depth of success that there is possible, when we are just really wanting to experience how big that vision is, we have to be more mindful of how we build. Okay? We just have to be more mindful of how we build. And ambition, the vision of ambition is much different today than it was before. Okay? The vision of ambition is much different today than it was before because God is unleashing and unlocking so much revelation on who we are and the things that we have at our advantage in the world to progress his will. Okay. And I know like I'm weaving in and out of the spirit, like, and but there's just so much to explore in the spirit so that we're not trying to work according to our own understanding. Okay. And with that being said, I pray for each and every one of us to get the revelation of our identity, to get the revelation of how we're supposed to operate and move and build. I pray that we get the revelation of how to work with each other in a beautiful way, in a beautiful and divine way, so that we don't have to, so that we don't think that we have to do everything by ourselves. Okay. And that's one of the benefits of community. That's one of the benefits of just reaching out for the help that you need when you're feeling emotionally unwell, spiritually unwell, or frustrated. Okay. Like just look at your dashboard, look at your emotional and spiritual, relational, financial dashboard to see what's breaking down. And as you notice things breaking down, that means it's time to rest. It's time to unwind. It's time to get vision for that area. It's time to figure out how to heal of the vulnerabilities, how to close the gaps, okay? And how to work in a divine way to overcome that challenge. All right? And so, with that being said, I just want to pray, God, I just thank you, Lord God. I thank you, Lord, because you have made everything possible already. And I thank you because we're not waiting on you. I thank you for the revelation, God, that we're not waiting on you. We are waiting on us to take ownership and to really show up in your presence, to get a vision and to really understand the way that you've made possible for us to experience that vision, to manifest that vision. God, I pray for every soul that is here that they will get clarity. I pray for Tranisha, God, that you will get clarity about her vision, that you will give her the grace and the focus and the discipline to make time with you, make time in your presence, to get clear on that vision and to break it down into those specific areas and to see what you have to say concerning that vision. I pray for all of us, God, that we have the level of clarity in the spirit to be able to know the connections that we need to make, to be able to know the investments we need to make, to be able to know the decisions and the moves that we need to make to execute on the vision. And I thank you for the revelation that we don't have to be slaves. I thank you for the revelation, God, that we don't have to suffer so much physically, emotionally, and mentally trying to bring about what you have already made possible, God. I pray against um, uncalled for warfare. I pray against uncalled for work and striving and stressing, God. Let our work be in the spirit. Let our work be with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Let our work be in belief, oh God. Let anoint our work, God, to make the way smooth in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.